So I saw a $1.5 million house here in Guatemala. Did I buy it? Stick around. Hi, everybody. This is Doug, and welcome to Dying to Retire. And this podcast is dedicated to my retirement, but also looking to becoming a resident in Guatemala, as well as looking for a home for the wife and I in Guatemala. As you already know, but I'll recap. I'm down here on a trip looking at different houses. Today, I met with a real estate uh, a company, Alberto, the representative, very nice gentleman, drove me around, looked at several houses, and I'm going to give you guys a little rundown on how my day went. Now, and tomorrow I'm going to be meeting another one and hopefully meeting different areas, but I'm going to probably be meeting, I'm not probably, I shouldn't say it. I will be meeting Alberto again early tomorrow because they want to show me something else as well. Today was a very good day. It started around, oh, good Lord, around 9. I went out to Alberto to Trubo. Sorry if I can't pronounce that correctly. A nice little restaurant off of here, off of RN 14, going towards the communities I was looking at. So we had a nice breakfast there. I went over the different things that I was looking for that I know my wife is looking for. What is non-starters? Like lack of hot water or lack of good ventilation or natural light. We always look at the good flow and feel of the homes. And like I said, when I looked at my scoring of the homes in Guatemala, and this one almost can be part two, if you think about it, or part three of my scoring of homes in Guatemala. Because like I said before, pictures are great, but you really need to have a boots on the ground experience. And today was very eye-opening for me. And hopefully for y'all, it will be a little educational help anyone in the same situation or thinking about doing the same thing about to look at, because getting boots on the ground is very important. Weather was fantastic today. We're sitting out there having breakfast this morning around 9 something and sitting there, and the weather was just fantastic. I mean, I've been in the city, Ciudad, Guatemala. It's kind of hot, a little sweaty. It's actually nice there, but it doesn't have as much breeze. Here it was 70 something degrees, but it had, I would say, a 5 to 10 mile an hour cross breeze, nothing heavy, but it was fantastic and it felt great. You could have a long sleeve shirt like this or a short sleeve shirt, but it was fantastic. Because to me, anything in the 50s and, 50s, 60s, and 70s is fantastic. Start getting in the high 80s, I don't like it. Started getting in the low 30s, I don't like it. So the weather was perfect. Slightly overcast. It went off. Those clouds went out later in the day. It didn't rain this afternoon by the time we got back. It had a nice, good thunderstorms. But I am here during the rainy season, so that's to be expected. Uh, Alberta was really good. He took me to two houses, the first stop, that was not on my list because I had a long list that when I get back onto my regular PC, I am going to be redoing a lot and rescoring. But I had the long list of the houses, and I'm glad I had it because it's what the wife and I looked at. But of all things, it's like every plan goes away the first moment when you first get punched. So I think Mike Tyson said that. Everybody has a great plan until they get punched. We looked at two houses in a small community. I think it's Hacienda de San Juan, right? San Juan. Very nice one. It's very small. It's not a huge colony, gated community. I think like 60 houses. The only thing, the downsides, and I'll start off with that, is it's just the homes. There's no community home. There's no walking area. It's just a straight up area that's been cut out slightly on a hill, but it's not as bad as something I'm going to get into in a second. But the two homes we looked at are very, very nice. I think we met the builder. You can tell the builder thought about the home as if he was going to live in it versus throwing shit together, which we've seen before. The quality in the home was very good. The prices are within means, but the home was well built. It had hot water, had the cistern, had everything I liked. The only thing it didn't have built-in air conditioning for like in the bedrooms, which you could do probably put in a split pack or mini split afterwards. So those homes were really super nice, well laid out. The master bedrooms were always good sized. There were two, and the one I liked better out of the two is actually the cheaper one, which is funny, in a little bit less square footage. And it had you'll see a lot in Guatemala, you have the garage door, but inside the garage door is a built in a regular door. This one actually had the garage door and a separate uh, entry door going in, which I do like in there. But what's also good, and because a lot of times the pictures, and I don't know if it's the lens cameras anyone's taking, the garages look very slim. These garages, you can put in a mid-size SUV like a Honda Pilot or a Hyundai Palisade in there, no problem. You can pull it in or back it in. So that's always something I really like in there. And it was well laid out. The master bedroom, the kitchens were well done, laid out well. Plenty of floor space on there. The only downside to the one I actually like is the master bedroom is the only one really with a terrace. Now, the second floor where the master bedroom is, it does have a wide walkway. You could put a bench, a really nice bench, with a coffee, little, I call it a cafe table. You can put a little cafe table with two chairs or a bench, and you could have a wonderful time outside. It had enough natural light coming in. It had a lot of breeze coming in, so it kept the house nice and cool, even if it was 77 degrees out. But it felt very cool in the house, even though it didn't have air conditioning or anything going on. And there was no ceiling fans, but it was built so you could put ceiling fans in there, and that's a really good. So the difference in the second house, which I liked, that actually had a more, I hate to call it public terrace, but where the house guests all could go to the terrace, and it was nicely sloped where the water would drain away and stuff. The only thing why I like the other one better is it's the way the bathrooms are. You have the bathroom. A lot of times you'll have a separate walk-in closet, and the house I liked had a walk-in closet. What I don't like is where you have to go into the bathroom to go into the closet, because let's say someone's in there using the bathroom, or someone just blew it up, and you really don't want to go in that bathroom because it stinks. You would still have to do that to go get your clothes, to go to the closet, and that is not something I'm a fan of doing. So that's why the first house I like better than the second house. And I'm going to throw some photos up where you guys can see the outside of the house and a couple of photos of the inside of the house. I met the Jose Felix, I can't pronounce his full name, wonderful guy, designed it. Again, you can tell he thought about it when he was designing the layout and building the house. He had really great attention to detail. They had enough lights around where you could put a king or a queen. I'd do it a queen, but you could put a king size bed in the master bedroom and in the other bedrooms. And they set up where you had enough on either side where, what they don't do in American homes, either side you could have your bedside tables with separate lamps, and you wouldn't have to be running extension cords under your bed and stuff. So I really like that how he set it up. It's set up where you can have a TV in the room when you walk in. Not saying I always want a TV in my bedroom. I think in the first house, I actually had a fireplace where with a mantle you could put a TV above it. I think that was fine. It's laid out well. It wasn't too big because you're looking at this as a retirement home. Remember, you have to take care of it. And yes, over time, you're probably going to have to get la Muchacha de la Casa in there to come in a couple days a week, $25 a day, come in to help, with the laundry or in keeping the house clean. So if you get too big, you would need a live-in servant, live-in domicile. So that's what I really liked in the house. After we left that, most of my houses were on a thing called a community called Antigua Gardens. And that I was, again, this not Alberto, he was showing me this stuff. To me, one of the biggest disappointments because the pictures on the website make it look really grand. And unfortunately for me, now Hacienda San Juan, the hill is a little bit like this that you're going up, right? But it's doable. It's nothing bad. When you go to the Antigua Gardens, it is built on the side of the thing, and it's really you're building houses on a hill. And they had so many trees. It's good. Go back to Hacienda San Juan. Both of those houses I looked at, you actually had really good views from the master bedroom and for the balcony, the terrace. You could see Fuego, you could see Agua. You had really good views of the volcanoes in the area. Antigua Gardens didn't, because there's so many trees in the area and power lines hanging down. You go out on your patio and all you see is a power line. Yeah, you may see the volcano in the background if it's high up, but you're looking at power lines, or you're looking at kind of knobbly, ugly little trees in there. So basically all they did was build on the side of a mountain in a way, and they're putting so many houses in there, and it's not pretty to look at. It's affordable, yes, but it's just not pretty to look at. Yes, they had a little grounds area, community area, and I think a clubhouse, but it was not attractive. It's one of those things you immediately look at and you say no. So that, in a way, took off anything I had on the list for Antigua Gardens, and that's where most of my stuff was. So that was no good. Then we went out to look at Estancia, San Miguel Dueñas. We had to go further down the road, make a turn, because you're like Alotenango's that way, and you had to go up that way to San Miguel, because from RN14. And we went down there, and what's really interesting, you start going through basically small town Guatemala. San Miguel is very small, and you got tight streets, and you're going in there. So you go all the way down this, and then you show up you feel like you're at the end of the road, but you go to the end of the road, and now you're in this nice community, the Antigua Estancia community. And from what I understand, part of the designers, the laying out of the community, were the same people who did one called Los Franciscanos, and I'll talk about that one in a second. So we were there, and what's really nice in there, that you can tell the homes are nice. Unfortunately, none were available right now. They have 1-story, 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and then they have some 2-story, 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. They're just not ready for delivery yet. But they have a lot of room, and because that area is mostly flat, and you have good view of 2 volcanoes, the scenic on it. So those will look really very nice, but I like to see the finished product. I've seen them. They sell fast down there. Uh, However, for me, it's a little out of the way, because again, you're going through this old town back streets, and then you pop up into this community. Um, to me, over time, people like that in the community aren't going to really love you, in my opinion. But it was very beautiful, nice area, great thing. It's well laid out because you can actually walk around that area if you wanted to get out and walk around. Hacienda San Juan was nice, but it didn't have a lot of stuff. It's basically 2 roads going up a slight hill, a bunch of houses. It's going to be like 60 total houses. It's halfway built right now, but it's not like some area where you can walk around the community. Antigua Gardens is huge. You probably could walk around it, but you're going up hills. And if anybody's old enough to remember watching Walter Payton when he used to run up the side of the stadium to get those big ass legs he had to be one of the best running backs in the NFL, it's that's all you would be doing. So if you're a running back in the NFL, you would love to run those hills. They're cobblestone streets, so probably would destroy your knees. Now, that's not an area that I'd want to be running around when I'm old, nor having my wife walk around there, because again, it's a hill. Now, yeah, you'd be walking downhill, but eventually you got to go up. That's not very good. The Antigua Estancia, that was fair Estancia, and I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I'll put the names up here for everyone to look at. It was mostly flat, very laid out, small hills, something you could actually, an old person pedal a non-EV bike around, right? Non-e-bike around. So it was very nice. So I do recommend that. It's just you're going through the old town. And then on our way back, because he had offered it before, Alberto, I had talked about the community, Los Francisco Años, right? And it's a little bit more expensive community. And that's the one I saw, the $1.5 million house. He took me to that house after I looked at another house, and it's a little above the budget I really wanted to spend. It's still doable, and I'm going to think about it. So I'm not going to tell anybody which one I'm looking at on that one. But it was a 3.5 bedroom, like 3 bedroom, 3.5 bath, 1 car garage. Very, very well done home. In fact, he, just like I met the builder in the other one, he had me introduce me because we looked at another house being built. that they're covering. It's Willie, and hopefully I'm not pronouncing it wrong for you, Willie. Gentleman who's the builder on there, because you can tell, just like the first one, they thought about how if they were living there, how would they want their families there, be it $1 million house or be it a $400,000+ house. They really thought about it. The one we looked at, again, a little bit over the budget than I want to spend. However, it's from the outside, it's got the colonial look, the Spanish colonial look, but the inside, my God, the inside, modern, very beautiful. And I'm going to throw some images up here and may run a video behind me because I'm going to shrink me down where you can look at that. It was beautiful, well laid out, hot and cold running water with the cistern, the water heater. I can't even speak today. Electric on demand. They had a pump to make sure you had all the water pressure. They had the like I said, the cistern, a couple thousand liters, so you really didn't run out. But the views on both of them, and you'll see in this one, the views were fantastic. From the master bedroom, which was on the second floor, you could see one volcano, but if you look through the other window in the master bedroom, which is like a interior window looking outside to another terrace, you see this wonderful, I think it's volcano agua. Like I said, the other one from the other side, from the terrace, you had volcano fuego. You can see them, something happens, yeah, you're screwed. Okay, they both blew up, right? But you had the great views in it. The bathrooms were good size. The kitchen, not as big as you would think for the price of the house, but it was very competent, and it's using high-end appliances. So to me, and they had enough outlets and plugs all over the place. So to me, it was really great. What was the beauty of it, and this is one I know makes the wife happy on it, even though it was nice and cool, the weather's going, weather was blowing, the wind was blowing, sorry, the weather was blowing, the wind was blowing really nice. It had mini split packs in each of the bedrooms. So you could have air conditioning in each, well, not could, you do have air conditioning in each one of the bedrooms. So if you needed to sleep because you wanted the cooler air, you could actually do it. I would still put ceiling fans because like in here in this room, it doesn't have it, but I would put ceiling fans in it. I highly recommend someone do that. So I'm going to wrap this up because I don't want to go too far in. So I'm going to recap in there. So we looked at mini houses. Tomorrow's a new day. I'm going to go early again, I think, with Alberto for take a look at another thing. Around 10, I have another appointment. I got to make sure that one's short because I'm trying to meet up with Mark at 1300. So I'm trying to do it. Mark, I am not trying to not meet up with you. It's ridiculous. It's a lot of stuff I'm doing right now. And I know your time is precious as well. So I'm trying to look around there. So again, the stuff was beautiful. I mean, I'm going to put this in the Los Francisco Años, the house I actually like. That's at the very high end of the market, my price range, a little bit busting it a little bit. So that's it. Today is Wednesday, and I've been here. I got here last night. So again, as always, if you found value in this episode, please let me know. Please smash that like button. Please subscribe. Do me a favor if you have the time. If you have questions or anything like that, please put them down in the comment section. I do my best to try to answer them as soon as possible. So please do it. As always, I am Doug. This is Dying to Retire, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.